This is your boy Jim Jones, and you're tuning in to Hotnewhiphop. Harlem rap right now. There's a lot of talented rappers in Harlem on both sides, the west and the east side. It feels good to see the younger generation coming up and going after their dreams. There's a lot of space for it to happen. The sound sounds good. It's dope. I mean, you know, I try to help as many as upcoming artists from Harlem as I can. You know what I mean? You know, especially the ones that the music sounds good and I can feel where they coming from. So you know, Harlem is dope. I don't know if I got a favorite feature. I got a great relationship with the people with the features I got, shit like that. Shouts to Mozzie. With the exception of Mozzie, I haven't really got to meet him in person and shit like that. We got a lot of great mutual friends and shit like that. He's a real stand-up G. It's popping blood. You dig? But I like all the features. The Gotta Play the Game with Lucci. Record is dope. We're about to use that as a single. Chicken Fried Rice that I did with Yo Gotti. Video was fucking retarded. I love that video. We shot it in Harlem. We shot it in Chinatown. We bring the cranes out, all type of shit. That was a great experience to get back behind the camera and in front of the camera. Who else? Jada Kiss. Fucking Dust and Powder is fucking retarded. You know what I mean? I actually got to do that. Go up to Jada Kiss's studio and watch him do that and shit like that. Went up there and took the record to him. Did the hook up there with him and shit like that. He did his verse. Retardedly stupid flow. You know Jada, he's still top 5 dead or alive Jada and shit like that, man. You gotta respect his handle and shit like that. My man Trav, I got some features with one nigga Trav that I love. Every one of them that he did. He did a Catch On Yet. Pray is actually Pray is still one of my favorite records of like all time. I got to put out. I had the record Pray done for a few years. We just never had a chance to put it out, and now was the right time. Yeah, now is the right time. So you know, my man Axel Leon is on there. He blessed the track. Killer's on there. Joel's is on there. A nigga Ball Greasy is on there. My man Dirk is on there, blessed me with a hook and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, well, the intro song, Never Did the 3/4, the whole way the session, walked in the session with HEATMAKERS and just talking to him about the concept of the project as far as the wasted talent and where we got it from. And got it from a movie called Bronx Tale. I know it's a rather old movie right now, but I encourage all my youngsters, my niggas out there hustling, my young gangsters, my ladies, I encourage everybody to go watch that movie. It's a dope-ass movie, too. It's a gangster flick, but it's about a lot of morals and shit like that we all should have. But we was in the studio talking about the whole concept, and we started watching like clips of the movie and shit like that, and we was watching the end of it, and the beat came on. I was like, yo, what's up with that right there? You could put the tap up on that? He like, yeah. So he started tapping that shit up, and while he was tapping it up, I was writing the verse at the same time. So before he even got to really put all the bells and whistles on the beat, I was ready to go in the booth. He's like, come on, man, let me just, give me a minute, let me finish. And the way that came together was just organic. That was a real dope connection. And shout out to HEATMAKERS, co-executive produced the album with me, gave me a lot of direction on the album. It was great connecting back with him after all the success with all the Diplomat music and all that. It's dope. Where we come from in these ghetto communities, everybody either has a story of wasted talent or knows somebody that we figure has wasted their talent and shit like that. And sometimes people might waste their talent in one direction and find success in another direction and things like that. Like, say Cam, he had a chance to maybe go into the pros, definitely being able to play overseas in professional ball and shit like that. And by him being a knucklehead and not doing the right thing and being disciplined enough to stay focused, and it kind of fucked him up. He got kicked out of college and shit like that and had to come back. But when he came back, he regrouped and ended up turning into one of the dopest rappers in the rap game. He's a legend now and shit like that, you know what I mean? So it varies and shit like that. And then you got some people that really wasted their talent, didn't get a chance to show how great they could be, you know what I mean, or didn't have the platform. A lot of the times we missing a platform to show how great we could be coming up in these ghetto communities and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have the greatest examples to look at and shit like that. When we're young, we all want to be basketball players and football players and doctors and police. As we get older, reality hits us, and we got nobody to show us how to be a lawyer or a doctor and shit like that. That's not what we see in our community. Shit, man, if you feel you have a talent, you got to dig in. Like I tell my son, man, if this is what you want to do, you got to go as hard as you can. Got to put your best foot forward. You know what I mean? Nobody's perfect at what they do, but if you give it everything and you give it your best effort, then that's all you can ask for and shit like that. I'm a little bit older, you know. As a lot of people know, I've been through a lot of shit in this game, as people have seen through the public eye on camera. My life is on camera, as you can see. But just life. My sons got older. Trials and tribulations and trying to maintain my lifestyle and keep my family together. Being real with yourself in this game when you don't have hits out and the same people that you could get on the phone, they ain't picking up. You get a reality check. It's a very humbling experience. I mean, humble in a great way. I mean, it taught me a lot of lessons and shit like that. You know what I mean? Showed me how to persevere. Always been a hustler, so it wasn't about getting to the chicken. It's just trying to get it out of the head that you can't rely on the industry right now. You gotta do what you need to do for life, and you know, man, I reflect a lot of that in my music. It's a risky life we live. I wouldn't say that I was a complete Boy Scout in the midst of this 7 years, but I'm here. It definitely affects everything. That's something you got to get hip to. You can't expect to do what you was doing 7 years ago to make the same impact right now, you know what I mean? And the youngsters figured out a way virally how to kind of tweak the game, and they figured a way out how to make money and still maintain the gold platinum without anybody having to really spend a dollar, which is streaming and shit like that. And I'm all hip for it. I just chose to sit back and make sure that when I put out this first project, which wasn't supposed to be an album, it started as a mixtape and EP, but God bless us. I just wanted to take enough time to understand what I was doing as far as this whole viral game, so that when I did make my first strike, it won't be that much longer before I strike again. You know what I mean? There's gonna be rapid fire after that, because it doesn't take any money to put music out nowadays, and the way kids are getting hits and shit like that, not just me being a businessman and a record label owner and shit like that, is like, I'm about to just start to release a plethora of music. I just want to make sure I had all my bases covered and make sure that I was comfortable with the music I was about to put out, and here we go. Yeah, lil nigga, what's up, lil nigga? Shouts to Fifth, man.
How are you two? What's the relationship like?
It's a dope, awkward relationship.
Yeah.
You did?
Describe dope awkward for me. What is?
You know what I mean? We both in the same game. We both very competitive. We both cancers. So we think alike in a lot of ways and shit like that. Not to saying that he's in my brain, I'm in his brain and shit like that. You know what I mean? We both aggressive people. We don't like to get no from no one. We definitely don't like to lose at anything. You know what I mean? So it's dope. I mean, but personally, we definitely have a great relationship. I mean, I actually spoke to him. I had missed his FaceTime, but I spoke to him later on FaceTime and shit like that. He had me cracking up and shit like that. Just dope nigga, man. As far as the game is concerned, I mean, you know, very controversial, but his business sense has always been immaculate. He always seems to pull a rabbit out the hat, you know what I mean? Like as far as he did with Power and his whole production team and everything that he does as far as television and movies are concerned and shit like that. Like he found the next lane for him to dive into, as I say, when, you know, the industry ain't really popping for you at that time and shit like that. And he found something even greater, which is the natural progression for us, which is acting and production and shit like that. You know, with life, time heals everything. I mean, I don't think if that was a big of a deal. We was both playing for two teams, and you know, it's a competitive sport and shit like that. But right now, we got a great relationship. We always had a great relationship. I think we understood each other from even in times we were at Diplomats and the time we would record out of studio and baseline and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
was there no like moment where you ended any like fences, or was it like was there a moment where you guys kind of like made up, if you will? I don't know a better word for that.
I mean,
Or
it was
just kinda like a natural
from the moment I walked in this building, the Rock Nation, that was already
Yeah.
everything was already cool. It wasn't no. I mean, like it's a lovely position, man. Shouts to the whole Rock Nation. Shouts to OG, you dig? Shouts to Tata. Shouts to Peck Eyes, you dig? You already know, man. It's a great situation, man. They've been helping me out. They've been doing a lot as far as helping me push this wasted talent. I mean, you dig? I'm trying to bait Big Homie right now to get him on one of these records. So hopefully maybe you see a Jim Jones and whole record. You gotta put it in the air sometime. Ha ha. Oh, Stacks is my nigga, man. I miss Stacks daily and shit like that. I tell you, like I tell everybody else, it's like one of the few subjects I hate to talk about. Is a very emotional subject and shit like that, because I definitely miss him dearly. I feel like he was one of the few people that I wish could still be here to get his shine and his accolades, because I definitely feel like he would have been at the top tier of this rap industry, or maybe even the whole record industry. Like he was vicious, and he just had a great heart. Never seen him mad too much. He always smiled. He always gave a lend a hand. He'd give you the shirt off his back. He was a real gangster and a gentleman. You know what I mean? The bitches loved him. You dig? Niggas wanted to be like him. He had a style of dress. Like Stacks was the shit. Well, I work out at HEATMAKERS studio actually for like the past 4 years, 5 years and shit like that. So we always kept in communication and kept a close bond and shit like that. It just shit happens. It happens organically, and his sound sounded brand new and fresh again to me, and then we go right back in again. You dig? Everything is a 360 circle in life. I don't really care about who the king of New York was, or who the king of New York is. If you want to talk about the king of New York, like these people were talking about, they're talking about who got the most streams and the most viral hits and who had the most sales of the records this week. They're not talking no real king shit. You dig? Like, when we came up talking about you was the king of New York or trying to take that crown or claim that crown, came with a heavy consequence, as you can see from us being in front pages of newspapers, from us being on your local news plenty of times, and so much violence happening in between, and people losing their lives in certain situations, and people getting locked up, and you got gun charges, and you got people. It just was a whole different realm of you saying you was the king. You dig? People coming back from damn near the dead. You dig? Like, it was a scary thing. Right now you're talking about the king of New York being the person who has the most sales, or has the most popular song, and when you walk in the club, then
It's two totally different kings.
two totally different kings. It's more like you the IG king of New York. You know what I mean? Like, it's a digital world, and I'm not mad at it. I watch it, you dig? Like, people use social media as a platform to make a lot of money, and they know how to do it good. These niggas is trolling each other, and the troll turns into 1 million followers following this, and then they'll drop a video tomorrow, and then he'll get 2 million streams on that video. And what is 2 million streams? Like, how many thousands of dollars are 2 million streams? Music, of course. Shouts to Rock Nation. Television production. I've been acting, so I'm trying to get more into movies and shit like that. VL Mobile, I got a mobile phone service. We got phone plans. We just like Boost and Cricket, same concept. I own a professional arena football team. I'm a part owner of a professional arena football team in Richmond, Virginia, the Richmond Rough Riders. We won a championship last year. We 3-0 this year. We kicking ass. Shit, forgive me if I forget. Vampire Life, the clothing line. I'm in the fitness, Vamp Fit, if you follow me on the internet. There's a lot going on, man. I'm trying to get my feet wet again and shit like that, you know what I mean? And be an inspiration for a lot of things that I've started in a negative light, and trying to turn it into a positive light.